Hello, everybody. My name is RODGON. I am an artist. I'm a designer. I'm a teacher. And more importantly than anything, today, I am your instructor. So, hello. Hello. I'm a little later than normal. I had to sleep in. I was incredibly tired. I was incredibly exhausted. I didn't get him until like 3 in the morning. No, actually, it was like 4 in the morning. So, yeah, I've only slept like 4 hours so far. After this, I'm going to go back to sleep just for a little bit. But I was already late, so I didn't want to be later to my stream. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? So, seeing as that's the case, we do have a couple little spots that we can fill in while we wait for our lesson to begin. So we will doodle accordingly. You guys can start putting down in the chat what you guys want to learn today. If you guys want. Do you have some books you would recommend? Well, it depends on what for what. There's a lot of knowledge out there. And understanding where your knowledge base has to reside is very interesting. Like if you were doing character design, I would recommend certain books. If you were doing, anatomy, I would recommend a different book. It would be a little different depending on what you need. If you want to get generally good at anatomy in general, I would recommend, what's his name? What is his name? I can't remember. I'm brain farting right now for some reason. But I'm tired, guys. I'm incredibly tired. I'm really, really tired. Like I haven't been this tired in a very long time. I don't know why. I honestly need to go to the doctor. I'm getting to the point where it's getting like worrisome. Like I'm worried that it might be diabetes or something like that because I'm like constantly just super drowsy, super tired, and I don't have energy anymore. Like it's weird. So I know I have to go to the doctor at some point. And I know they're going to give me some bad news. And I know it. And I hate going to the doctor so much. But I guess at this point it's kind of needed because I don't know what's wrong with me and it's starting to affect me. But we'll see. Hope you guys are having a nice day. Do you know Arcane? Arcane boards? That's the only Arcane that I know. I used to do skateboard designs. So I know a lot of old skateboarding companies, and that one was like a longboarding company that used to be there. His name was Arcane Longboards. And I don't know if that's the person you're talking about, but I highly doubt it because they were like a small manufacturer. Hey Rod, can we go over how to draw cute characters? Oh yeah, we can totally do that. Oh, that sounds like a good one. And we still have a little bit of space in our brown paper from yesterday, so that would be really fun. So yesterday, what did we talk about? Yesterday we talked about drawing people in public and how you would approach, for example, legs, because legs are the most difficult part to drawing people in public. Drawing legs is actually relatively simple if you think about it like this. Any shape you draw, if you trace the outside edges, you have the outside of your leg. If you go inside, you create volume. If you go on the outside edges of any shape, and then you go inside for volume, you can draw things like legs really easy. If you do that in other directions, and then just overlap your shapes, you have the ability to draw legs in any position you want. Oh, I have a longboard, Larry, a longboard. That's kind of funny. Yeah, well, a lot of the longboard industry knows me, a lot of it, because I worked with a lot of them. I'm not sure if I worked with Larry though, but he was an iconic. I don't know if he's still alive. Is he still alive? He was an older gentleman. No way. You used to build them? Oh man, if you remember, there was one called Soda Factory that I really liked. Soda Factory. There used to be a longboard company that used to draw like really, really raunchy art on their skateboards, and I used to do that. That's like what I used to be known for. I used to be known for like skateboard art. Oh man, that's awesome. Oh well, send him a hi for me, man. He won't remember me probably, but say hi to him anyways. It's nice to know that the world is small enough that you can run into the things that like got you into it and in your new ventures that you go into. It's really cool. How do you draw octopus tentacles? Well, we are going to be drawing cute animals, so I can draw an octopus for you for sure. So we'll start our cuteness off by drawing a little baby panda. And a really, really cute baby panda. We'll use color. Yeah, we're going to use color since we're in the white and the tan paper. I can actually draw with a little bit of color. So we're going to make a little colorful panda. All right, what color should we make them? I'm just going to use this color. I don't know what color it is. Yeah, the striping color is very important. You got to know where to put the colors for your stripes or for your patterns on animals. That is the one differentiation that you really need to be good with. That's if you want to draw something like really adorable animals from simple shapes. A lot of the times it comes down to just knowing the patterns. Yay! So if you understand the patterns for the animals, this could be a brown bear, that could be a polar bear, that could be a monkey, that could be anything you want. So what is this? What we're drawing right here is a beanbag. That is the shape that I'm drawing. I'm drawing a bigger shape on top, like a circle, that's going to overlap my bottom part, and it's going to create depth. In this case, I use that depth to separate the face from the body. In a lot of other cases, you will use that depth for things like bends, right? For like arms, if you want to draw hands and stuff like that from this. If you wanted to draw fingers, well, you can just draw fingers with those beanbags as well. If you want to draw legs, guess what? That's a beanbag. Into another beanbag for the foot. So understanding these things can facilitate understanding how to move your body in all sorts of directions. Okay? Even your hand is a beanbag. Your hand into your wrist can be seen like a beanbag into more beanbags for fingers. Okay? So everything's a beanbag. Everything's a beanbag when you draw with RODGON. Everything's a beanbag when you draw with me. So at first you start with two circles. Okay, that overlap each other. And then you draw circles inside of these circles to give yourself guidelines. So you draw a circle, and you draw circles inside your circles. Circle and circle inside my circle. Give myself guidelines. No, you're not late. We just barely started. We literally just started. Like, I'm the one that's late. Once we have a circle, and you have circles inside, you have guidelines. You can use these guidelines to be able to draw things on them, like midlines. And then from there, you can use those midlines to different midlines. And then from there, you can use those midlines to different, right? Like your mouth, your eyes. You can start measuring where you want them. From there, these guidelines also give you the roundness of your shape. So if I want a point here, all I gotta do is find the other point over here. And I have access to things like ears by tracing up. If I make the eyes nice and big, it looks cuter. If I make the eye smaller, it makes it more grown up. I can add little tiny sides to them to make their cheeks a little poofier. And that's just extra volume on top of my shape. And then the body, well, if you have seen my chibi bodies video, it's really easy to draw a body from a circle. Just draw, again, 2 circles. It comes with quadrants, and those quadrants become where your little arms and legs come from. So if you take that into consideration, you already drew the guidelines. 1, 2, 3, and the other one's back here, 4. So, and you can get really, really okay poses like that. The estimated cost for my how to draw book is going to be, I think, I'm going to guess, and I don't know the definites because I don't know how many pages it's going to be yet, but I'm going to try to aim it to have it be less than $50. I'm going to, because it's going to be a big book. It's going to be a big book, right? It's going to be a big book, and it's going to have a lot of knowledge. And it'll be less than any textbook that you normally get anyway, so. The ebook will be cheaper too. The ebook will be like $20 or something. Yeah, that one's going to be like my flagship book for me. Mostly because I'm going to be trying to transition more into an author role at some point. Like I want to be a teacher and I want to be an author. And since I don't have a degree in publishing and I don't have a degree in teaching, I have to do it in my own way, right? I have to approach it in a way that that I can do it without the approval of other people. The reason that I'm not teaching at a university is because I can't teach at a university because I don't have a master's degree. Even though I would be insanely good and I would fucking rock the shit out of any curriculum, I still can't get a job in a teaching place here in California because I don't have a degree. So what I said to myself was, you know what? You guys don't want to give me a degree? Okay, I'm going to make it so no one needs a degree in art ever again. I'm going to make it so all the knowledge that you guys, want to gatekeep by not allowing improper people to teach at your educational facilities, by just releasing that knowledge to the world. And then hopefully in time, nobody needs your art school anymore because I'm petty. I am petty. And my pettiness does not have limits. Like, I will die on this hill. I will die on this hill and I will spend the rest of my life trying to make sure that art schools don't ever need to be a thing. And that's why I do what I do. I do what I do because I hate how they run institutions here. I hate it. It's so incredibly wrong and ass backwards. But it is what it is. And if I want to change something, I just got to make that change myself, right? If I want something to change, I need to be the one to make it happen. I can't wait for somebody else to make something happen. No. No, 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 no. In this world, there's people that do shit and people that wait. And the people that do things will fail a lot more. But guess what? At the end, they'll be more fulfilled. You'll end up so much more fulfilled at the end of the day because you actually tried. Like if you fight for something, even if it's something like weird, like if you don't have like that thing to fight for, like does it even make like sense to like wake up in the morning? Like it's if I didn't have something to wake up for, like I'm a person that doesn't have kids. I don't have like necessarily partners or anything like that. So, but I don't, if I didn't have something to wake up to every day and fight for and strive for, I would see myself getting very complacent with where I am. Very complacent. I would probably just be okay with very little of what I want to achieve. And, that just doesn't sit well with me. As artists, we don't go into art to not stand out. Like, we're normally introverted people. We are normally people that, like, in normal day to day tasks and struggles, like going to a bar or going somewhere, we don't stand out, right? Like, a lot of us don't. And that's fine because that's not our environment. So, in order to be able to find that environment and find those people that you get along with, you have to put yourself out there into the world. And when the world of art, it means that you have to probably share a little bit more than you want to. And I'm saying that honestly, like more than you want to, because that's the only way to really reach more people nowadays. They need to see a little bit of your life in order to be able to see why they should follow you. It's no longer like just drawing cool artwork. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. This is so weird because like in order to make yourself grow, it kind of has to be like you have to make yourself into your own little baby reality show. And it's weird. And it's definitely weird because people don't go to you for your art. They go to you because they want to see how you live your life. And that's so weird. Sambu, what? Is that a bear being pegged by a bowling ball? No, that's a little tail. But I guess that could be it. I'll draw another one over here. Like, and then obviously a bowling ball coming towards him. Put a pin in that publishing thing and maybe able to help with that. I'll message you later about it. Okay, awesome. Thank you. What's the topic today? We were drawing cute stuff. And then I got like distracted by telling you guys that I hate art school because they won't let me teach in them. Not even that. Like, it's not just that. It's the fact that every single art school that I know has never really taken the time to actually teach the students that they need to, like the skills that they need to survive. They teach you how to be an employee. They teach you how to be an employee really good, right? But guess what? You're not always going to be able to get a job. So that degree It means nothing at all if you can't get a job. So, if they don't teach you skills that will help you actually be able to survive outside of those employable skill sets, well, then you end up fucked up. Because you're gonna be like, oh my God, how do I live? How do I make a living outside of the shit that they taught me in art school? And they don't teach you that. Very rare. And I've done curriculum assessments for the Academy of Arts. I've done curriculum assessments for the Art Institutes of California. Even helped with some of the curriculum that got added into the like the stuff here because I was a consultant for their curriculum as a freelance studies advisor. So yes, I am very aware of what art schools do because I infiltrated them. I got to the point where I needed to get to so that I could find out what they were teaching so that I could see if they were bullshitting or not. And they were. Like, it's really funny. Like, a lot of the times when they would say, like, 97% of the people get hired, you guys want to know what type of jobs they were considering hiring in the industry? If you guys get me to at least 10,000 likes, I will tell you guys all about that fucking like tea. Like, because it was like so dumb. Like every single time I went up there, I went up with them to assess their curriculum maybe 3 years for the Art Institute of California. Right? I went in there. They invited me 3 times because I was a graduate from there. And they were like, oh my God, successful people. Oh, we can claim that they helped us. And I'm like, oh no, you're going to regret that you brought me in. You're going to fucking regret it. Like, it's not going to be a thing that you're going to come out feel proud, buddy. So they invite me in the first year and they have me there with people from like the industries next to us, which were Sony and like there's like a bunch of other, like I think there are people representing us from Blizzard and some people from Nickelodeon that were there because they wanted to see if the students were actually decent. And they start playing the roles, like the reels for people. And I'm just like, oh, here, let me ask you something. What is that? These are the best students? And then they were like, yeah, they were like so proud. And I'm like, well, why do they have the same stuff in their portfolios? How come there's no concept of originality? How come you guys don't push for extracurricular studies outside of your actual classes? How come you guys don't push your students to push their own things outside of your actual classroom? Oh, well, that would be more hard. That would be too complicated. I'm like, yeah. And that's why you get paid a shit ton of money to do this. Because it's not a thing that someone can do outside of the facilities of actual school. You guys have the equipment, you guys have the facilities, and you guys have the people. So why are you not trying to help these students be better? Like, they're not going to be able to compete against the people coming out of Noman and like other schools that are actually like the Arts Center, like Cal Arts. Like, that's the people they're competing against for jobs because the job market is so saturated, right? So how do you expect the people with these skill sets, and they're showing us the reel in front, and I'm like just blasting out this information because fuck it, like the employers and the people around there should know that too. I was like, why do you not give access to the knowledge needed to be able to do this? And if you don't prepare them, you better damn well prepare them to be able to do jobs on their own without any employment, because you're sending them into a market as fucking fodder. That's what you're doing. You're just sending a shit ton of students with hopes and dreams as fodder into the industry, and they're going to be just eaten up because you never prepared them right. You should have seen their faces, man. You should have seen their faces. They just went blank. Like the industry people from like all these game companies that were looking to hire students, they're thinking the same thing. They're just not saying it. And since I was there, not as a person that's going to teach you how to get employed, I was the one person there to be hey, I'm here to teach you that your skill set are not good enough as you're teaching them so they can survive. That was my job, to be there for that. And they regretted it immediately. The next year, they told me to please not like speak out of turn and to please just concentrate on on helping the students instead of the curriculum. And I'm like, it's a curriculum assessment. Why would I not assess the curriculum if you guys are asking me to come here for this? Like, what? So the next year I did the same thing. And then they changed management. They changed like art directors. And then they invited me again the next year. I don't know why. But they invited me again and I did the same thing. And then the school closed. The school went bankrupt. So, yay. Oh yeah, octopus. Let's try an octopus. Let's try an octopus over. He just graduated. If you're gonna draw little cute octopus leggies, I would just make leggies like this, right? It's like little teardrops, and then just make a bunch of them. Draw one in the back that's a little bit darker, and then you can use two of them coming from the sides to be able to say whatever story or whatever storytelling element you want to do, right? So that is how I would draw a really cute octopus. I would probably just draw little nubbies. For ums. And then when you come down to the color aspect, that's when you just add little dots to one side or a little color to one side only. And then the other side, you leave it so that it gives depth. And if you feel like being cute, you can make them like inking, like, oh, you ate me ink. When you mention Noman, so pretty much some art schools are just, well, the thing is for-profit schools like the Bry, the Art Institute, Academy of Arts, and like all those art schools that are for-profit, and that's why it's so important to make a research. If you don't make your research while you're like looking for an art school, you're gonna get you're gonna get stuck, dude. Like, you have no idea how good they are at hustling. Like, they got me to sign up to it when I didn't know the difference between graphic design and animation. And I'm not an easy person to fool. I'm not an easy person to take advantage. I'm actually quite clever. And I was still hustled because my dream of going into art school outweighed my common sense of, is this going to be a good option for me? Am I going to put myself in debt and be at risk here? Am I going to not be able to fulfill my dream with the knowledge or the teaching that they have? I didn't look into what teachers they had. I didn't look into what curriculum they had. I didn't look into any of that because I was a child. I was 18. I was a goddamn child. And how am I supposed to make that decision, like logically, when I'm just desperate to find a place in the world and they're giving it to me? They're like, here you go, this is where you belong. And at that age, you're desperate for belonging. Everybody is. You want to fit into a group, you want to fit into a niche, you want to be special. And these institutions take advantage of that. These institutions, even industry sometimes, by the way, even the animation industry and stuff like that, they take advantage of that. They underpay their people because they know that a quadrillion more people will jump up to the opportunity, even if it's fucking free. So that's not just art schools. It's the industry in general. They tend to weaponize the idea of someone loving and wanting to do what they want to do. And that to me is the most detrimental part of this whole goddamn industry. Like, you can't get anywhere if you don't take advantage of someone else. And that's just shitty. It sucks. That's why I don't work for studios. That's why I don't employ people, because I can't afford to pay someone what they require. Because if I could take a bunch of volunteer work. Oh, I'm pretty sure that people would volunteer up the fucking ass to just be a part of this. But that's not the point. The point is you can't just do that for people and then take advantage of them. You can't do that. If you do that, you just become part of the problem. Right? So, like, it's just something that there's no solution to it, because it's just going to keep happening because people are desperate to get into creative fields. And at the end of the day, companies know this, so they're going to just take advantage of us until we get too expensive, and then that's why they try to replace us with AI. And I'm saying emphasis on try, because it's really hard to replace artists. Nah, you don't have to leave your art as a hobby because of that at all. Like, even though all that shit, like I for example, I never wanted to be an employee. So I would always see everything that they taught us with like a grain of salt. Like really? Like, why would you, what? Like, I would question everything. I'm always that person. I'm always that annoying person at the workplace that's like, hey, how come that person's not getting paid as much as me? How come that person is not getting this done? How come that person doesn't have these benefits and I do? Like, because I don't care. Like, I don't care if they go in and punish me, because I'm not doing that for money. A lot of the times that I was taking jobs, it was because I wanted to learn a skill. So I used jobs as classes. I would take a job, I would learn something new, and then I would move on. And then it would be like, oh, they just paid me to learn this. And now I have a valuable skill that I can actually use for myself. So I learned video editing, I learned cartooning, I learned through caricatures, I learned cartooning. So I went and I worked at a theme park for a couple years. And I learned caricatures, which taught me speed, taught me precision, taught me communication skills, and taught me to be proud of my art. So even though it paid shit, because they do pay shit, it pays nothing. It's commission based, and even though I was one of the top salesmen for the whole company, I was barely making like enough to make ends meet. So I can't even imagine what people were making that weren't even able to make commission. But it does teach you a lot. It teaches you a lot of cool traits. And it also teaches you that people have no fucking clue as to what good art is. And that is something that you really need to know. You need to understand that the general public doesn't know the difference between a stick figure and a really cool portrait. They don't. They just see art. It's weird. It's like some people just see music, right? Like they see like they don't know the difference between country or hip hop, but they just hear music. That's how a lot of people, and if not most people, see art. There's no distinction between good and bad art. It's just an art. Because to them, it's a foreign concept. They can't do it. So to them, it's magic. It's like, ooh, well, coding. Well, how many different ways of coding are there, right? Well, if a person doesn't know coding, they just assume that coding falls into one spectrum. Same thing as cooking or baking. But if you get more specific into it, you start saying like, oh no, well, cupcakes are different than cookies. Macaroons are different than cinnamon buns. Like you start understanding the minute differences as you get better in those fields. But a lot of the people just see art as a big general poof. So most people think that if you drew a stick figure and you made that stick figure look kind of cool by just adding a little bit of depth, they would think you're a pro. Right? Oh my God, you did that so quick, right? And they'd be like, oh my God. Or you can take the same amount of time to draw something a lot cooler like a person in public, standing or whatever on their phone. And it wouldn't take much longer. And the person would probably be like, oh my God, that's the same thing. You could draw entire like environmental systems, trees, everything like that, and they'd be the same. They'd be like, oh my God, that's art. Not knowing that to be able to do one, it takes a gigantic amount of knowledge and skill sets. And then the other one is just an iconist version of whatever you imagine to be a human. It's a weird world we live in. Yeah, the average human doesn't know the difference between that at all. They won't understand what the difference is between them. It's really interesting. It's a very fascinating way to like see how people visualize and how they understand art. It's been a really cool thing to actually like learn about. I love to draw, but it's become stressful. Why? Why do you find it stressful? Like the one constant in my life that is absolute, it's not that I wake up and I breathe. It's not that I don't know, that I like peanut butter. It's that art brings calm to my mind. That is it. That's literally the one constant in my life that I can account for. And every given day, it could be a day that went to shit, right? It could be the worst of days. The worst, like girlfriend broke up with me, my car's like broke down, and I almost died in a week, right? You know what the only solace was throughout that week that made me feel good? That was that I got to draw. That I didn't hurt my hands. That I didn't, like, that was my biggest thing. Like, if I were to hurt my hands and I couldn't draw, that makes me go into terrible depression. Like, terrible depression, because I can't get any thoughts out of my mind, right? And I can't quiet the brain down. If I can't quiet my brain down, I get overwhelmed by my own thoughts incredibly quick. Incredibly quick. So it's just understanding that it's become almost a necessity at this point instead of seeing it as a hobby. To me, it's something that I just require to do every day because it's almost a borderline obsession. Right? It's an addiction that doesn't have any drawbacks. It's an addiction without repercussions, just beneficial aspects to it. Because the more that I spend myself drawing and teaching and talking, I'm literally refining every skill necessary to get to where I want. I want to be a great teacher, so I need communication skills. I need to be able to talk for hours. I need to be able to talk in seminars. I need to be able to talk in front of thousands if I ever feel like making like any sort of like demonstrations or presentations. I need to be able to talk in front of thousands of people without being flustered. Hey, buddy. Hi, baby. You got out? Yeah, let me open up the space so that you can actually go poop. I'll be right back, guys. My little puppy is, he's out for revenge. Hi, baby. Come. Let's move that so you have access to all of that. You can go out. Oh, you good? Alright, just went around again. Alright, let's move this out of the way. Free reign of the apartment. You deserve it. You deserve it. You were good yesterday. You are such a good girl. You only destroyed like 6 things. You're such a good boy. Come here. Come here. Hey. dog. You spilled it. No, buddy. Come here. You know the food. Oh, dear God, Mustache. That's why I don't let you here. So I give you snacks. You flip the plate, and then you play with the plate. You are a weird dog. The puppy is adorable. He posted pictures. Yeah. Can we see the puppy? Yeah, of course. Let's see. Where are you, Mustache? Yeah. Look at him. He's so cute. See, he just spilled all his food over here. Hey, buddy. Come. All right, let's go back to our art. Look at him. Ah, attack of the puppy. Attack of the puppy. Ah. Puppy break. All right, baby. It's time for Dad to work. All right, sit. Sit. Good boy. All right. I want to get just a ballpoint pen. Yeah. No, buddy. No. Those are Daddy's cables. You gotta get out of there. No. You can't go on there. That's the cables to my computer. Work and puppy time just... Okay. All right. He's gonna chill for a second. All right, cool. So what were we talking about? I totally forgot what we were talking about. So if someone can remind me, please, that'd be great. Or at least give me another topic to talk about. My puppy kind of makes my brain go like, Were we in proportions? No. Expressions, can you teach me how to draw angel dust? Like the drug? There you go. There you go. Hey. No eating the art materials. You were talking about potentially doing some seminars. Oh, yeah. The importance of teaching yourself. The importance of training yourself to do things. Like the reason that I do what I do every day is because I need to teach myself how to talk. I need to teach myself how to communicate. I need to teach myself how to explain the things. To explain the things that are hard, right? If I don't do that, well, then my value as a teacher gets greatly reduced. Because it doesn't matter if I have all the knowledge in the world. It doesn't matter if I have all the knowledge in the world. If I can't explain it to anybody, what's the point? That's why it's kind of silly to just think because you're an industry professional that you would be able to teach the concepts that are given in front of you. That's not the case. As a matter of fact, I'd rather take the lessons from somebody that's not an industry professional that actually knows their topic as opposed to somebody that's in the industry that doesn't know how to explain something. Like, give me that any day. Because I don't have to be the best artist to explain to you how you can become the best artist. That's just not how it works. As a matter of fact, people that are just naturally talented are shitty teachers. I'm just going to say that straight off the bat. People that are naturally talented make shitty teachers because they don't understand what it takes to be able to, the struggle. So if you are a person that just grew up knowing how to draw, trying to explain that to somebody that has never known that is going to be really hard, if not impossible for you. You might be able to teach other people that are naturally talented. Maybe. if they meet the same type of like, like criteria. But you're just into cartooning? Not really. I mean, I like doing environmental stuff too. I like doing fantasy stuff. I like doing a bunch of different things. Just what we're teaching right now is environmental stuff. Hey, no eating the tikis. Like I can do drafting. I can do backgrounds. I could do pretty much anything, really. The thing is, once you have the skill set, what you decide to do with it is completely dependent on you. Like, if you want to use it for buildings, if you want to use it for people, if you want to use it for situations where you want to be able to draft scenarios, sceneries, anything like that, it becomes ridiculously easier if you understand volume, if you understand gesturing, if you understand perspective. If you understand simple perspective, for example, you can make light post going up a city. If you understand how this maps to, you can just find the opposite side and be able to do the same thing. Making like little parks. This is easy as doing foliage by a little zigzag. Literally a couple zigzags is all I need to be able to tell that that's literally grass. Little cylinders can be trash cans. If placed in the right spot, it's gonna look good. Little boxes could be benches if you know how to apply them. Learning how to make things bigger or smaller is what's going to give you depth. Learning how to move the human body is what's going to give you the ability to draw things moving. And learning about real life and how things actually function is what's going to allow you to draw people with actual clothing and personalities, as opposed to just drawing people as just a generic human. Right? Learning scale can very easily populate a city. You can even make people on bikes and shit like that by just simply gesturing and knowing the rough shape of how people are on a bike. And by learning contrast in laws of composition, you can easily make things go in the back by just making them darker, adding shadows, gradients, whatever, So understanding that even if I did only do cartooning, I know cartooning to the level that I can apply that cartooning to realism. I can apply this to pretty much anything that I want. So yes, you might see it as a skill set that cartooning is like, I don't know, for some reason you're saying it like a bad thing. But cartooning is one of the most difficult things to learn. Cartooning in itself is one of the most difficult concepts to learn. Simplification and flow. Are you kidding? That's way harder than any realism if done right. If done right, cartooning blows realism out of the water. You're literally creating from nothing. You're quite frankly creating things with life, even if they're simple. If you find it difficult to create things out of nothing, it might be because your mental library isn't there yet. And what does that mean? It means that you have not gone out into the world and drawn enough things from real life in order to be able to do them enough from memory. If you actually go out and actually take time to draw people, buildings, plants, all that sort of stuff. What are you eating? Hey. No eating the markers. No eating the markers. That's not, no. You're cute and all, but no. No. You don't get to eat the markers. They're yummy? I don't care. Yeah, he likes chewing on things. What are you eating now? What are you eating? You're always eating something. Stop eating everything you touch. No, this is not your toy. All right, let's continue on with the lesson. Yeah, take away your toys and you start complaining. All right, so, hey, those are cables. You can't eat the cables. Jesus. Puppy, basic office etiquette. Get out of here. He'll learn. One day I won't have to struggle so much with my puppy as I try to teach you guys. All right, so let's go back to taking. How long have I had that puppy? My puppy is 4 months old, like 4.5 months old. So he is a little baby schnauzer. A little baby schnauzer. Oh, little mustache. He has wild hair right now because I haven't taken him to the groomer. So he's a big ball of hair. Buddy, get out of there. No. Over there. You're going to go back to your playpen if you keep on doing that. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, so he's 4 months old. He was supposed to be a mini schnauzer, but he's not a mini schnauzer by any means. Like he was a rescue. So it was kind of like a gamble if he was the actual like breed and stuff like that. And he ended up not being at all the breed that they told me that he was. So he's a medium-sized schnauzer. So he's not a normal. He's a normal schnauzer. A little bit bigger. So he doesn't fit into my arms anymore. But I just got to get a bigger backpack for him so he can take him on the motorcycle. Oh, we're almost at 30K. Woohoo! He's so cute. Aww. Yeah, the puppy's cute too. Ha 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 ha. See what I did there? See what I did there? Ha 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 ha. Oh, selfless plug. Ha ha ha. All right. I want to go into a whole lesson though. Let's start this week off right. We're finishing off this little brown paper, but we're going to go into a full page of like lessons. So you guys can ask stuff. You guys can ask all the stuff you guys want. I'm going to try my hardest to get through as many things as I can teach you guys. And I think I'm going to teach you guys how to draw the body and the ribcage from a structure. Not from like the circle and the ribcage and the collarbone, but I've discovered how to make something like any body shape kind of work by drawing a certain couple elements inside. And if you do that, you have access to drawing your body from anything that you want to do. It's actually quite simple. And I would love to teach you guys that if you guys allow me the opportunity to. If you guys are down, I will gladly teach you guys this method. If start from 10 minutes if you didn't draw so long. What? Teach me. Okay, let's go. Let's get to 40,000. If we get to 40K, we will begin our lesson. And I'll teach you guys this method. Like this method has been interesting for me so far. I'm a big fan of being able to draw from any shape because of my caricature background, right? When you're drawing caricatures, you have to learn to draw faces from every single shape possible because people's faces get distorted in all sorts of ways, right? So you have to learn to change people's looks based on exaggerated features. So I often just draw the faces in any shape I want, and then I find my features inside by doing these guidelines. So that, to me, that's how I do it, but I've never really had a way to do that with the human body. The human body has always been a structure thing. It's always been like, okay, you build it from like the bottom, and you have your rib cage and your collarbone and your hip bones, and you start connecting parts, right? That is how I normally teach my anatomy. And it makes sense, and it's very easy, intuitive to actually follow, right? But then coming up with different variations of it tends to be a little bit more difficult for people. So sometimes finding the elements inside of your shape that you already want is going to be better. Drawing a shape that you really want, let's say I want a big character, right? With a little tiny hips. And I want to find my ribcage inside of here. It's a matter of drawing a circle and connecting the points at the edges. From there, you draw an egg that connects to the edge of your body. And then your hip bones come as a form of a circle underneath that rib cage. And then you can draw your sushis. Your arms come from here, and then it's volume inside. Back to the body. Ooh, kind of cool, huh? And then the head comes from here. So it's just like a reverse engineering way, but it's really, really effective to teach you how to maneuver around that. No, I don't use vanishing points. I don't use perspective like that. But I can show you. I can show you how I use perspective. You are so pretty. You are so cute. You are so darn destructive, though, and I love you so much. You eat everything I put in front of you. You are a beast. Okay, down you go. Good. All right, let's see. Now, we're close enough, aren't we? Well, no, I guess not. We're not there yet. But yeah, learning how to distinguish the rib cage and the collarbone and the hip bones inside of any shape is going to help you be able to draw your characters in a bunch of different positions. Bam, 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 bam. Because that's how our arms work. That's how our bodies work. Our bodies have a very certain flow to them. And if we learn it, then it becomes really simple to draw bodies. I need my hand, buddy. You can't be eating that. You can't be eating my hand. No. What if I turn into a werepuppy? Huh? Now I'm gonna be all hairy, and then you know how much we're gonna have to pay in like hair costs? We're gonna have to buy shampoo again. We don't do that. All right, 40K? Cool. Let's do bodies. Let's go. Okay, we're close enough. You guys will get me there. So the human body. The human body is actually one of the most complicated parts of things to ever draw because there's so much complication to it, right? If we take a very simple shape of a body and we start examining what we draw, we have a face, we have features of the face that have different facets to them, like, I don't know, angles and blockiness and cavities and angles and facial expressions and stuff like that, just in the face alone. Then you have to learn how to connect your head to your body in some way or another, and that's a pain in the butt. And knowing the length of the neck, that's another pain in the butt. The muscles, that's another annoying thing. And then learning how to actually space out your items to make it look like an actual body as opposed to just a random assortment of circles normally takes a little bit of knowledge of muscles and everything in the beginning, right? If you don't understand how muscles connect to each other, it's really difficult to be able to draw things like body parts. It's very difficult to understand how body parts and like arms, hands, fingers, and all that stuff connects, how it works with each other. Little things like the pectorals, the rib cage, the armpit, the hip bones, all that becomes really hard sometimes because we don't really know how to connect everything together. Needs a little more space. So I'm going to show you guys a very simple way to be able to approach this stuff that will help you understand a little bit easier how to draw the entire human body. Okay? My goal is that you guys don't have to ever question if you guys are drawing the thing in the right spot. That to me has always been one of the biggest factors in not knowing where things go. To me, the human body has been so darn complicated to learn how to draw that I had to come up with different solutions to figure out how to be able to draw it. And when I found out that there's simple structures that allow you the ability to draw these things without much complication, well, then I was like, damn, okay, cool, we got to learn this stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys my way to break down a body into two shapes. And we're going to do it in two different ways. We're going to do it in the outside in. So we'll draw whatever type of structure we want for our body, and then we will build a human structure inside of it. And we will draw it the other way. We will draw the structure, and then we will build around it, because people learn differently. Everybody learns a little differently. And knowing that not everybody's a monkey, some people are fishes, some people are birds. Not everybody is going to be able to climb a tree with the same technique, right? And some people won't even be able to climb it. But it's my goal as a teacher to be able to explain it in a way that makes sense to you guys. And let's make sure to add our brown paper to one side, because if I forget, I won't do it. Where did you disappear to for like 10 seconds? Did you eat something? You probably ate something. He's always eating something. All right. So what I got here is origami paper. And I like origami paper because it's thin enough that it doesn't add much girth to my sketchbook, but it's very easily bendable so that I can just slip it into the side of my page. And now I have access to half a brown page so I can use colors, and I use the half other page to draw with white. And I like this because it gives me a nice variety of range when it comes down to when I'm drawing. I can draw with marker, I can draw with pencil, I can draw with graphite, I could draw with anything I want. So that's why I do that. And it's really cool. It just looks nice. So a little bit of tape, done. I got you. It's a tone. Yeah, it's a tone. So now, boop, 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 boop. All right, so the human body is going to be put into two parts. Okay, it's gonna be the upper body. That's gonna be an egg. And our hip bones that are gonna be two little circles that connect at an angle to our body. If you learn how to identify those, we can just draw any body shape we want. I'm gonna show you guys how. And we're gonna focus on the sushi and the egg. The sushi and the egg. I like the upper body more. So the upper body consists of, if we're drawing like musculature, we would have our collarbone, we would have our pectoral muscles, we would have our rib cage, maybe the back muscles coming forward, and then we would have our abs right here. This is normally really difficult for people to draw because they don't know how to simplify it. It's a very complex body part. There's a lot going on here. And if you don't know how to create the proper volume, it becomes really difficult. So what we're going to do is we're going to simplify this into a very basic shape. We're going to simplify this into this eyeball looking thing and an egg. So you're going to draw an egg with an eye on top. And that's going to give you a very basic semblance of what a human ribcage, collarbone, and head are. And then when you add anatomy to it, you end up with a full system. This is very easy to do with different body types. Make it a little bit bigger, and you have more volume that you have to fill in to be able to generate bigger characters. Okay? If you draw these smaller, you get a more dainty looking character, a more normal character. So the difference in size of these basic elements are what dictate your character's design. So it's really cool to just understand that by drawing these two shapes, you already have control over the width of your arms. Your arms are going to flow over the top and then down. So you draw from this point, you draw down. This is the outside edge of your arm. This is not the middle. This is the outside edge of your arm. And then you draw volume inside, depending on how wide you want your arm. Boop, boop, boop. And now you have a rib cage and two arms. If you bend this, you draw the outside edge into inside volume. And the same thing happens, but now you can bend your things in space. So that is how to draw a character without a neck. Well, just don't draw a neck. But if you want to draw your heads, it's as easy as drawing a little cylinder in there. The cylinder comes from that circle. The cylinder is one of the strongest shapes that you can use for a head. Why? Because it gives you all the access to all the guidelines already. You already have everything you need. So even complicated body parts like rotating your face around and stuff like that become really easy. So that's why we draw from a cylinder. We don't draw from a circle. Well, the circle's good too because it also gives you roundness, but the actual shape itself becomes a little bit harder to identify if you don't see through your shape, right? If you don't have the knowledge of pinpointing two parts of your head, learning to draw through it, and then mapping these, connecting them together, like if you don't know all that, that body part, that poses so hard with this system because you need to understand so many complicated things. But if you draw from a cylinder and draw your circles inside, you already have the line that goes this, just split it in half. You already have all those guidelines and your neck. So, I don't know. You tell me what's easier. The Lumis method is difficult, man. The Lumis method is not for beginners. Like, the Lumis method, like, you already have to know how to split an element in space, right? You already need to know how to eliminate a side without them teaching you how to draw even a sphere. So that's already difficult. Then you have to find a midline, then you have to find an angle, and then you have to connect angles in curvature, in space. This is for advanced people. This is not something that is going to be conducive to someone that's never drawn before. They're never going to be able to get that. Like, I teach people every day. This is difficult for people to understand. And then they feel dumb. They really feel dumb because they can't get it. They're like, oh, well, that's what everybody learns. So that's what, oh my God, I must suck at art. I must suck at art because I can't draw how everybody else draws. Dude, like, you have no idea how many people have told me, like, yeah, they picked up a drawing book and they just quit because they knew that was just not for them. And I hate that. It does not make me happy. So the way that I like to teach is from scratch. If you have never drawn a body before, if you've never drawn a human character before, you can draw a human character now. You draw a little egg. You draw a circle at the top. That's going to be your collarbone and where your head comes from. If you don't know how to see perspective, you don't even need perspective for this. Consider this the space for your face. Yay. Okay? From here, draw a little circle underneath that egg. Just draw a circle. And then at the edges of the circle, going down from the middle of the circle, down, inside. Down, inside for volume. Outside, inside. Okay, so now you know how to do that. If you want to give this perspective, you connect the 2 points where your leg connects with a circle. And now you have access to circles, which gives you access to cylinders, which now you can use to move your things in space. If you know how to use foreshortening, if you make one bigger than the original one, it's going to give the appearance of coming towards the camera, towards you. If you make it smaller, it's going to look like it's going away from you. And that's just a very basic concept, which you could apply immediately once you find the little circle. Cool. So the legs are now a circle that you split in 4. If you learn how to split it with a circle instead of a line, instead of doing this, draw circles inside. Circle, circle. Take 2 of those lines, and now you have quadrants. And those quadrants can help you draw chibi bodies. Ta-da! Or use the bottom 2 quadrants to draw your legs as little horns or little cones or whatever. From there, you can add your anatomy to it and build from there. Right? You can build from that structure because it's giving you an anatomically correct proportional thing. And then when you add your upper body as an egg, we don't want to draw it into this. You can pose an egg really easy over that circle because it's an egg. Outside edge of my body, outside edge into inside volume. Outside edge into inside volume. The head comes from here. as a little shape. There is no guessing. There's no guessing in this method, right? There's no, does this go here? How about here? Well, does it maybe go here? No, there's always a connecting point. And there's always a way to apply it so that you can get to the next one. And that's just something that I've prided myself in because that's something that it takes me forever to learn normally. So start with your basic shape, or let's do the other way. We already did it structurally. So now let's say that we want a character sitting down. Cool. We know that a person sitting down is going to be roughly like this shape, right? Like roughly. Like they're going to be bending their legs. That's probably what we know of a character sitting down. By doing this and knowing that this is going to be our final outcome for our body, well, now we can start putting things inside. We're going to draw a circle. We're going to draw towards the edge. We're going to draw our compass. We're going to draw an egg that touches the edges. We know that this has to be the break of the legs. Logic. Just straight up logic here. It's not even knowledge. This is logic. If your body goes down, your legs have to go this way if you're sitting down, just a basic chair, right? That's what happens. Your body's this way, your legs have to go this way and then down. We all understand that that's how you sit down. So we're using common sense here. We have the middle of our rib cage is going to be here. So that means that if this is the middle, that's where our leg breaks. That's where one of our hip bones is. We just match it on the other side. And we already have the outside of this leg. We already drew it. What happens? You draw outside edge, inside volume. Outside edge, inside volume. And you have your body. And since there was no arms, you draw outside edge into the leg, outside edge into inside volume. Outside edge, inside volume. Draw your shape for your head, connecting back into this little circle. And you have drawn yourself a whole human character sitting down. When you learn perspective and a little bit of drafting and you go out into the world and you know enough people sitting down. So understanding and putting bare basic logic, basic logical thinking. Our bodies, the outside edge of our bodies is the side of our bodies, right? That's the edge. So that means that our rib cage has to reach the edge of this shape in some point or another. If you know that, it's going to taper like an egg inside. That gives you the spacing for your head. The rest of the spacing you have here becomes your collarbone into the outside edge of your shoulder. This is not an imaginary line. This is the outside edge of your body. This is not a bone that you have to add muscle to on top. This becomes the top of your body. So anything flows this way needs to come back to have volume, not up, not around. No, it goes back into the body. And it creates volume. When you bend things like this, to be able to create the overlaps that we need to be able to do the cool bends and stuff, you go first section, and then you go outside line into inside volume. You always bring the volume inside and overlap it. And that is how you bend your arms in all directions. Okay? You go outside line, inside volume. And that is how you maneuver around finding where your body parts are. If you already draw a character, right, and you want to check let's say that you already drew a super dope character. Let's go back into a drawing that we've done before. We might not have one here that actually works. Let's go back into time and then grab an older little sketchbook. Oh my God, I'm going to bring out some shitty drawings from very old. Oh dear God. Okay, what do we have here? Am I gonna make a fool of myself by showing this? And my mustache, are you here to prevent me from doing this? When is this from? Oh my God. Okay. My death gives me strength to live again. What were you thinking, you pretentious little kid? Oh. Oh my God, I can't believe. Okay, here's a really bad one. Okay. This was the extent of my knowledge in anatomy. Right? This was bad. So we're going to draw over this and we're going to fix this. We're just going to fix it. And because why not? I don't care if it's an old sketchbook. Fuck it. So the first thing that I would do to do this, okay, it would be to start understanding my basic shapes. I understand right here that I understood where the eyebrows go. So I like this area. This area looks decent, right? It's like, the eyebrows look good. Then from there, I need to follow my nose bridge down my eyebrow into whatever shape. I already have a nose right here, so I'm going to draw my little nose like a little triangle. From here, this nose has a little bit of width, and the other nose bridge, the other eyebrow would connect back to that. Cool. From here, my eyes are going to be at the peak of where the nose bridge breaks. So from here to here, I could draw a line. And from here to here, the edge of my eyebrow, I could draw a line. Over that line, I can distinguish 2 points. And then, let me zoom in. You guys can't see shit. From here, I'm going to draw a dark line, a very dark curvy line that's going to be my upper eyelid. And then I'm going to draw an intersecting bottom line that's going to become the bottom eyelid. Curvy line, curvy line. I can give myself whatever styling I feel like. In this case, I don't know what we're going to end up with. We're going to change a lot from there. From here, I didn't understand what the cheekbone used to do, right? I didn't understand that and didn't understand that until I started doing this. When you draw a face, draw a triangle in the middle. And then that triangle is going to give you a couple lines. It's going to give you lines going up and down. The line up going up is going to give you your eyebrows and your nose bridge. Going this way gives you that. Going down, it gives you the muzzle for your mouth space. And at the top peak of that, you end up the spacing for your eyes. The triangle becomes the spacing for your nose, and you can draw a dot wherever you want your nose to go and connect all the points. So triangle dot, you have a downward nose. Triangle dot, you have a big, long nose. And that gives you pretty much the mapping points for the bottom part of your face too. So once you understand that, you can move into... Hey, stop eating things! You get fed so... You got my motorcycle glove? Thank you, baby. I don't know how you got this, but thank you. So from there, understanding where my nose pocket is, I can go bottom, side. Eyebrows go this way. So weird styling, man. And then I can just slowly build my character up from there. Understanding where things go is very important. Understanding how you can manipulate those shapes is even more important. Learning the connecting points where something goes, limits and stuff like that. For example, here we have one ear, we have the other ear. Our body is way too far apart. So our body is going to be maybe right here. Decline. Turn off. I'm not going to do lives, guys. I don't do lives with you guys because a lot of the times you guys just kind of ask dumb questions or don't even ask questions at all. Like you guys just go like, hey, hi, hi, I just want to play a game. Hi, hey, do you want to do this? Hey, hi, hey. And it's just so incredibly annoying to me. So I stopped taking lives a while ago. Yeah. Understanding how to do these things now becomes really simple. But back then, it wasn't simple. Back then, this was pretty much an impossibility for me to even like think about doing properly. Like I just didn't know how to move things in space. Right? I couldn't see it because I had not spent time doing it enough. And then once you learn how all the connecting points happen, you know exactly how far out your elements are supposed to go. You know what to overlap, you know what to not overlap. And little by little, as you learn how to draw through your shapes, things like poses become a lot easier. Oh, that's pretty cool. I actually enjoyed doing that. Let's see. Let's draw one more. Let's find more drawings from Rod's past. Oh my god. Oh my god, Rod. What is this? These are so bad. They have literally no anatomical structure to it. Oh, here you go. Okay, this was one I was kind of proud of. So let's go and fix this. Okay, so let's see. Let's start with the face. The face is already crooked. So the head shape is fine. The head shape is perfectly fine, but I don't have my things lined up properly within this shape, right? So that's the first thing that I notice. I don't have everything lined up to the middle line. This eye, we can fix this really easy. That one looks okay. We'll fix this one too. Midline, properly here. This one would be a little higher, and we'll have to go in with a post-it or something to fix that one like that. Let's see. We're going to have to fix that side of the face. So we have that. We have the midline right here. We have our nose. And by just fixing the midline, like you can probably save this pose. Yeah, for this one, just not knowing enough of how to make the character's roundness happen was probably the culprit as to why I ended up drawing something that wasn't really appealing. Because the entirety of the face was shifted. And that's perspective. That was a perspective issue. It's not necessarily like a style issue. It's just a perspective issue. Let's see. I like doing that. Let me grab my post-its. All right. So if we go into the arm, for example, if we go into the arm, you'll realize that I do have like bulbousness and stuff like that because I drew the characters like this, right? A lot of the times I drew them like that, so I would get these round shapes that would give me curvature, but that's kind of weird because our shoulder connects differently. Our shoulder doesn't connect like that. Our shoulder doesn't lift up unless we lift our arms up a lot with our collarbone. Like unless we're doing that purposely, unless we're doing this with our collarbone, like lifting our shoulders up, we normally don't get that curvature up there. That curvature is kind of mellow. Most of the time, there isn't that much curvature going up there. So I used to do this because I used to overcompensate. I didn't know how the interaction here with the muscles worked, which is bicep and forearm. Forearm first, bicep second, split, tricep. That's bicep, tricep. And then here it's forearm muscles and stuff like that. I didn't draw the hands because obviously I didn't know how to draw hands. So I would be intimidated by the fact that I didn't know how to draw hands. And it was very intimidating because a lot of people that I went to school with knew how to draw hands perfectly well. And it was just like, well, if you don't know how to draw hands, they would make fun of you. So you'd be like, oh, you don't know how to draw hands yet? Maybe you should use your own hands as reference, Rod. Hated that shit, dude. Anyways, you guys get an idea. So let's go back to our actual sketchbook because watching my old drawings and thinking I was proud of that makes me so sad sometimes. Because if I would have just taken the time to learn some basic foundational skills, if I would have just taken the time to learn from someone that knew what they were doing, right? Even if it was just slightly, like my skill sets would have been very different. I used to draw amputees. Okay, so that was for the upper body. I taught you guys how to draw the upper body. So let's draw the lower body. No, did we draw the upper body or lower body? We did upper body. I think so. Lower body is a sushi. It's a circle split into 4 edges, inside volume. Bam. Circle. Little pyramids or whatever. Overlap them. They both connect to the edges, and you have yourself a body from the side. You can pose these things in any direction you want, and it's going to come out looking really cool. When you combine that with other elements, like the body parts that we talked about, the egg into the collarbone, you can direct your body to doing really cool things. Right? So learning how to overlap some basic shapes can give you a lot of depth. How do you draw the side profile of a body? Like this. An egg into a circle, into my legs going inside, outside edge, inside volume. Spine is in the back, volume to the front, connecting back to my circle. Yo. If you want another leg, go from the sides, draw it to a different direction. Done. I said that wrong. Speak to tech. What did you ask? How do you draw the side profile of the body? So I taught you guys that really first. How do we see you use the old mask method versus... Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so I used to have a drawing method called the mask method. And it's not a past thing. I don't use it anymore because the triangle method is so much better. But this one is the mask method where you draw a beanbag. Instead of a triangle, you draw a beanbag in your midline. This gives you the nose pocket as well. It gives you the basic interaction of your actual muzzle. So you have your nose space and your mouth space here. Ta-da! From here, from the edge to the side of the body, it would be a circle to create the flat part of the head. And this normal beanbag curvature would give you access to your eye sockets. So having that was really, really convenient as an initial starting point to learning how proportions work. Because whenever you drew things in 3/4, if you drew your beanbag, like one side bigger than the other, you'd start understanding a little bit more about what happens in that area. The problem with this method is that right here, there was no real indication or guidance as to where you draw your nose bridge, how you get to your eyebrows. So it's an incomplete system. It's not something that I can explain, be like, okay, well, you do a certain beanbag to do something. No, it becomes really difficult. I prefer the triangle method because it allows you the ability to just change anything in between. If I wanted to make like a old person, right, I could follow these and create my cheekbone lines going really low. Or if I wanted to have a really cheerful character, like a little kid, I could make the eye socket really big so that I can have a bigger eye. I can make the chin smaller to make it look like he has a little less years on him. You see what I mean? There's a lot of control by just being able to change one or two elements within your structure. And if you have the ability to change all of them, it gives you a lot of control over character design. And also the beauty of the triangle method, it makes the drawing in space and like other perspectives really easy. Like really easy. If we want to draw looking up, draw that triangle up, draw your chin however low you need it, and those guidelines give you the contour of your face. Draw your triangle for your nose looking up, and then you just finish it off by drawing your ears and connecting your chin to your ears. And you even have your neck already. So it becomes incredibly simpler to draw complicated things because it gives you a lot of the information without having to worry about finding it. You see what I mean? That's the beauty of this. The beauty of my methods is that you don't have to guess. If you're guessing, then you're doing it wrong. And you can stylize these things as much as you want. It's like if you want to create little furry companions, if you want to draw them doing all sorts of funny things, or you just want to draw yourself like a little furry character, you can apply all this stuff to animals as well. You can make little avatars for yourself. You can do a bunch of things, guys. You can make stickers. You can make comics if you're, good enough to like. And it's just a good starting point. Have we already gone over how to draw old and young people? Well, yeah, we just literally drew an old or a young person right here, man. We literally just drew them. So yeah, that's the reason why I like to explain things the way I explain them, the way I teach them the way I teach them, is because if you take away the guessing, what's left over is just pure creativity. If you take away the guessing, you can actually spend your time and energy figuring out what you want to do instead of how you want to do it. Do I want to draw my pose with a hand because, I hate hands? Or do I want to draw something with a background? Do I want to draw something with a tree? Do I want to draw something with foliage? Do I want to draw an orca with a machine gun? And a scar from his previous life. He's a complicated man. He spews blood out of his like. There you go. Killer Orca killing the movie theaters. Yeah, Killer Orca. Issue 1. The fact that this is all free is amazing. You know what? Like I said, I don't know if anybody's not familiar with my motto here and like my way of thinking. I don't really spew it much often because, I don't like preaching. But the reason that I do what I do is because I want to help people not have to pay for college. Like what I've been thinking about doing lately, really, really badly. And please let me know if this is a stupid decision. If it's a good decision, hit the like button, right? If it's a good decision, hit the like button. If it's a dumb decision, don't do anything. What if I did a Kickstarter where I just got money to go to get a master's degree, right? And then after every class, I teach you guys how to do everything that they taught at that master's degree. And then I essentially just teach everyone in the world everything that they teach at the curriculum. That'd be a cool job. So I could make it so that everybody has a master's level education in a way that I explain it. No, but the thing is, it's just going through the curriculum so that you guys know everything that the schools are actually teaching you. So that way you can have the knowledge from me that helps you understand how to survive, but you also have the knowledge that people pay like $100,000 for, that it would be completely free for you. What do you guys think? Like I said, if you guys think it's a dumb idea, just let me know, because I know that's kind of silly to ask other people to pay for your education, but I think I have a track record that explains that I would like to do this for a good beneficial cause. And plus, then I'd be able to actually fulfill my dream of going to teach at a master's degree level at a college. So that'd be kind of cool. Yeah. All right. I'll start figuring it out. I'll start bringing it up more often so that we can actually have like a game plan. Oh, you got your bunny. Oh, you're so cute. Jesus Christ, dog. You're so fucking cute. Been watching your how-tos and they helped me improve a lot. Thank you. You're welcome. All right. So yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I don't know how like crowdsource funding works, but I have to figure all the tax implications and stuff like that for it. But once I figure out all that stuff, I'll put a plan in play, and then that'll be interesting because I'm a forever student, man. I want to like learn everything so that I can teach it. Like my joy in life is explaining things that are hard in a very easy way. Like that is where I get in my jollies. That is where I find that like feeling. All I know is I'm going to buy your books once you get my taxes hit. Woohoo! Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, this guideline system is so cool because it applies to everything from cartoony to more realistic, and it just gives you a nice little guidance as to where your things are supposed to go, so you don't feel lost. Can we do the torso? Yeah, we have another little brown piece of paper to go, so. Should we understand thing good enough to teach? See, that is something that I debate on a lot. I debate on this a lot. Do you need to know how to teach something to actually say that you understand it completely? And at the end of the day, I don't think so. I don't think that you need to know exactly how to teach it to understand it because, like I said, not everybody knows how to teach. That comes with communication skills. That comes with like it comes with a bunch more stuff that's not just your drawing talent. So I wouldn't really say that you need to learn how to draw or like need to learn how to teach to be able to draw like things good, but it definitely helps. it definitely helps to be able to understand it enough to be able to explain it. That way you know that knowledge, right? Even if it's at like a rudimentary level, if you understand, for example, here, right? Like what I did right there, right? Like this was instinctual, but let me explain to you what I did, and maybe it helps you a lot too. Knowing that the side of my face begins where my eyebrow hits means that if I draw any shape and I draw a line down it, that means that breaks it down. This is my eyebrow line. One of these has to be my sides. And this is where the edge of my face is going to be. So if I'm drawing something like a 3/4 view, my eye socket is going to touch this edge because my eyebrow is going to be at the corner of that. I draw either 2 circles or my midline and my triangle to find my guideline for the rest of my face. And I know where my eyebrows are, and I know where my ear is because it's in between that little pocket that you create in the side. Half of that is your ear. And then you can build your character from there just by knowing one guideline. One guideline. Just knowing one guideline helps you understand a very important aspect. Eyebrows touch the side of your face. Wherever your eyebrow ends, that is the side of your face. Shape, midline, eye socket, that is the side of my face. Because my eyebrow reaches the exact point of my temple. And that is where it breaks from being flat to being the side. My eye socket reaches the edge of my face in every direction. Every direction it touches the side of my face in one way or another. Not even from the front. Actually, from the front, I don't know if it's the same. Let's see, the front, you have your eye sockets. Yeah, technically, a little bit, close enough. They just curve in a little bit. And then it gives you access to that little tiny temple area by drawing that circle. So that is essentially what you're doing. And now we get to apply it. So now we've done a bunch of sketching. So we have learned that within our structure of our lessons, we will do a bunch of theory on one side. And then we're going to apply that. So we're going to apply this to some doodles with a little bit more application to it. So now we get to do that. Now, if you guys want to get me to, let's go for 75K. Let's go for 75K. If we can get to 75K, I'll be really happy. I'm going to take a sip of my juice. I have grape juice. Yes, I have a juice box, okay? I'm 40 years old and I have juice boxes and I love them. And they're good and they're tasty. Don't judge me. You guys wish you had one. Yummy. You're 25. I got 15 years of juice box experience on you, buddy. What's bussin'? Can someone tell me what bussin' is? Like, I keep on hearing kids say it, and I don't know what that means. And it's kind of like bugging me that I'm getting to that age where I'm like old enough that I don't understand. So what's bussin'? It just means good, extremely tasty. Okay, so why is it buzzin'? Like why? Why does that word mean that? Like what is the significance of that word? It's bomb? No. I get the significance of the word. Okay, I know what it means now that you guys told me. Now I know what it means, but why that word? Combusting? Oh, okay, that makes sense. All right. Okay, see, understanding. Understanding makes the world go around. I'm gonna draw the different bases of Rod. When Rod is chubby, he has no neck. right? When Rod is chubby, he has no neck, and I grow my beard a little bit, so I have a little bit of a semblance of a chin line. And then since I have no neck, I don't draw the entirety of my jaw. I just draw the bottom part of my chin, and then I connect that to that circle that's going to lead to my rib cage, which is an egg. From here, my collarbone or my shoulders go in a little compass from the back of my spine and the front of my neck. You draw a little compass to the outside edge of your arm. The outside edge. Remember, this is not a stick figure where you draw both sides, volume on both sides. No, this is the outside edge of your arm. From here, back to wherever you want your pectoral muscles, we're going to draw a little U. This now gives you a contact point with your arm, with your body. Now you can draw a little circle to connect your armhole. Your volume is going to come inside from your outside line. Outside line, inside volume. Okay? Outside line, inside volume, and it overlaps and stuff. Cool. From here, we go down and we create a little circle that overlaps a little bit with that egg. We can split that in half and find 2 contact points on 2 sides of that sphere. From there, that's going to be the same thing that we did with the arms. We're going to do outside edge, inside volume. And then I have a contact point. Once you have one of them, you can just replicate the other one. You can bend these in any direction you want because you can go outside edge, bend that any way you want, and then you create the volume inside. And you have yourself legs in a bunch of different positions. Outside volume, inside. No, outside edge, inside volume. Okay. Outside edge, inside volume. Outside edge, inside volume. Boom. This already gives us our collarbone. So I just go from here to here to here. We already have our pectorals. We already drew them in. And all we need to do at this point is add anatomy in the form of shoulders. What are you eating? What are you eating? Stop eating all my stuff. Actually, no. Go for it. You cute. The words of the day, outside edge, inside volume. No, that's literally how you're going to be able to draw bodies from the easiest things. Like outside edge, inside volume. Outside edge, inside volume. Outside edge, inside volume. Outside edge, inside volume. Ba-da! Boom. And then when you learn to twist things, bam, 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 bam. Outside edge. It's a little bit difficult when you start changing a lot of positions. You have to find what the outside edge is going to be. And it's normally whatever's closest to the little body. Whatever's closest to the body mass is going to be the inside. So here, the shoulder would wrap around the top and then come back in. Things like shooting a gun or something like that. Pa, 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 pa. Outside edge, inside volume. Bam, bam. Outside edge, inside volume. Outside edge, inside volume. Yeah. Your new method, volume inside out. No, because no, inside out would be outside in. So if you are drawing your volume, it'd be outside first. Right? You draw the outside edge first, and then you draw your volume inside. For the upper body, you just find the outside edge of your body. You can draw your compass if you want. You don't need to, but if you find that outside roundness of your actual compass, it leads to both of your arms. Okay. See how easy that was? Just follow the guidelines that you create yourself. If a compass points differently, those arms point differently. See what I mean? It's all about learning the flow of your body parts. Once you learn the flow, the posing is going to be whatever you feel like doing. What are you doing now? Huh? What you doing now, buddy? Pulling on the towel? That's my backdrop. You can't do that. You're going to break things. Can you draw action poses? Well, yeah, sure. What type of action poses do you want to learn? Let's draw something punching forward, okay? So let's do some foreshortening. So if our arms normally flow down and our arms go this way, right? Let's make one really small, make one really big. And what happens? By simply making one bigger, one smaller, I have that. But now if I overlap this, now I have the ability to draw things in perspective. And all I have to do is change the positioning of these legs, and now I have complete action poses. Karate? So karate, let's see, hold on. So karate has like a wide stance, so outside edge, inside volume, right? And then they have like, their arms are like, and they step back and forth, like lunging their legs, like, and then they strike, or they bring their arm back. I'm sure if we ask nicely, Mr. Mustache would make an appearance. Yes, if you guys ask nicely, you guys will always be seeing my puppy. Come on, Mustache. Hi, baby. Look at this pretty boy. That's his bunny. He hates his bunny. I just got him for him, but he loves it. So that's Moose. That's little Mustache. That's my baby. Yeah, so posing essentially is going to become the simple concept of just learning flow lines. Understanding if you split your element like your legs in half, you can come up with your belly button and your points of rotation really, really quickly. And then the egg just connects on top of this shape, and it rotates around this shape depending on what your pose is needed for. So if you need a really complicated pose, a lot of the times it's just a matter of rotating a simple shape over another simple shape. But we need to learn how those simple shapes work. If you can't understand the simple shapes, then just learning the flow of your body parts can sometimes help you, even if you don't understand perspective. Edge, 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 edge. And if you get good at drawing them from just a basic ball, if you can make a ball have cool limbs by just understanding how these things flow, right? It's going to benefit you so much. So take the time to play around at this level, because this level's pretty fun. Like learning how to draw your things properly as simple shapes is very important in the progress of your bodies. Like, because just a more advanced body, it's just maybe 2 of those shapes together. Right? And but it's the same concept. You flow down, you flow to the sides. So it's the same concept, just applied with a little bit more detail. Okay? So that is the one thing that I wish that you guys pick up from today. That'd be kind of cool. He looks like he's just like naked. Like, oh, don't look at me. I just got out of the shower. Like my mustache all curly, like, hey, what's up? I drew myself with really skinny legs. Give myself really skinny legs. Might give myself a little more volume right now. I do leg day. There. No more skinny legs for Rod. And we got to give ourselves bunny slippers. Do you body give more emotion? Okay, I need you guys to really pay attention to the typing in your questions. Like you guys make it really hard sometimes to understand what you guys are saying. Hey, no, that's not a chew toy. This one's a chew toy. Okay. Understanding the 2 basic components of your upper body and your lower body are so important that if you just learn how to do them super simple, like from circles, and just understand the flow of your body parts, you can learn posing really easy. I'm trying to strip where my version of Spider-Man meets Robin. I don't know what you mean by that. Talk to him in Spanish too. Yeah, soy mexicano. I understand Spanish pretty well. Drawing people doing complicated poses becomes really easy, guys. It just becomes really simple if you master this level. Well, you're going to go to life drawing classes after today, and you're going to start realizing that it's not about drawing the middle. Draw the outside first. Find all the outside edges first. And then the point is to understand enough anatomy to about how to fill that up. And it's going to come to the point where your life drawing sessions will go from you spending 3 hours on a drawing to like 5 minutes, and you're not going to know what to do with the rest of your time. That's what I find myself in all the time. Like whenever they're like, we're gonna do 10-minute drawings, I'm like, okay, cool. I'll draw like 20 of them. I'm so glad you're still around. I saw you a few weeks ago saying you might quit. You know what, dude? Like, oh man, I suffer from heavy like onset, just imposter syndrome. Like a lot of the times, I don't know I'm doing something good. I don't. I'm here. It's just me and my puppy, man. Like, it's not me in a studio. It's not me with a big like setup. It's me, a phone, and my puppy. And that's literally what I've done for the last 7 years. You know, it's really hard to know what impact you're having on people when you're afraid of being around people. I have very severe like social anxiety. Like I can't stand being around people very often. So being in groups and settings is something that I got to teach myself to be around again, because after the pandemic, I just kind of stopped. It was easy. It was easy to not go out. Like it was literally one of the best and coolest times for me because I got to live the life that I wanted, seclusion, and it was catered to me. Yeah. But, that's not the case anymore. And I have to kind of relearn how to go around and live around people. And since I don't have a partner or a girlfriend or anything like that I live with, I used to before, but, that was what was keeping me kind of sane a lot of the times. Like that was my interaction with people. Like, but I don't have that anymore. And it becomes really weird for me because a lot of the times I doubt myself heavily. Like I'll sit there at night looking at all my YouTube videos and asking myself if I'm just an idiot. Like making a fool of myself by putting all this information out there and not being rich or super famous like other people think that I might be because I just have like 300,000 followers. That doesn't pay the bills. Followers doesn't pay the bills. So a lot of people have issues like they don't have an understanding of how social media works. So they just assume that having a lot of followers is like an automatic like, oh my God, you've made it. Nah, man. It gives you opportunities. It gives you more opportunities, but it doesn't solve anything. Like you're able to take advantage of more things because you have more possibilities because more people are seeing your stuff. But at the same time, if I don't do anything with that, it doesn't magically give me a solution to my life. I could have 1 million followers and be broke because I don't use and take advantage of that following. And I can have 100 followers and be okay because I promoted myself properly to those people. So it's like follower counts are not necessarily indicative of the success of a person. So don't feel bad if you don't have the following that other people have. If you don't have, oh, I don't have a couple 100,000 followers. I don't even have 1,000. That's fine, dude. All you need is a handful of really dedicated people to help you around. People come with problems, so in a way, it's a good thing to sit. Yeah, don't ever doubt yourself just because you don't have the following somebody else has. I know many artists that are way more talented than I'll ever be. And I got fortunate. And some people saw my work. And then I pushed that a lot. And I created opportunities for myself. That led me to be able to grow more. That is what you use social media for, as leverage. You don't use it as a goal. Like, for example, Instagram was my go-to, but it died down. Like I stopped growing there because the things that I would post wasn't up to whatever they needed me to post anymore. So it wasn't popular anymore, and I had to find another way of approaching it. And then that's when TikTok came in. And if TikTok dies and TikTok dies down, guess what? I'm just going to find another one, and 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 another one, until I get to what I need. Not to what I want, to what I need. And that's a big difference. And if you can't distinguish what you need from what you want, then you need a little bit of kind of like a reality check sometimes. A lot of times we don't know what we require, but we still want it. Like we're like, I don't know what it takes to be a character designer, but I sure want it. And then when you get there, you're like, oh, wait, no, that's not what I wanted. No, stop. What I wanted was different. I didn't want this. I didn't sign up for this. I'm not in danger, Mustache. It's fine. I'm just yelling because Daddy's an obnoxious prick. Hey, RODGON. Thank you so much for your tutorials and advice. You single-handedly changed my life. Oh, my God. My heart. My heart. I can't take it. You guys are too much, man. You guys are awesome. You know what, though? I'm pretty sure that you would have eventually like gotten to that to yourself. It's just a matter of having a good teacher helps you understand that sometimes things aren't as unattainable as they seem. You know? Sometimes all it takes is one person to take the time to explain things in a way that makes sense to you. And when you do that, oof, the doors open, the floodgates go. And, you know, at the end of the day, you know what my goal is? My goal is not to be the best artist in the world. My goal is for you guys to not need me. I want you guys to be so good at what you do that you guys forget that you guys need to tune into me. That's what I want. That's what I want. I would love for you guys to get so good that you guys see my teachings as rudimentary and beginner level. That is my goal. If I ever get to you guys and you guys are like, oh, that is the easiest thing in the world now. Like, can you move on, Rod? I've done my job. If I get you guys to think like that, I have done my job as a teacher. Because my job as a teacher is to make it so you guys don't need me. So a creator made 87K from 15 10-minute videos. I would watch. Yeah, I mean, I could, like I said, I could make a lot of money. I could make a lot of money. Like that is something that I absolutely know. Like I know that the way that I teach could be monetized. It could be. I could make a shit ton of money like this. But it would come at the expense of some people not being able to afford it. And that defeats the purpose of everything that I try to do. So yeah, so that's my. Hey, we hit year 70. Woohoo! Oh my God, you guys can break 100. You can totally hit to 100. Oh my God, are we gonna hit to another 100K stream? Holy shit! We've only done that like twice. One time we hit 250. Hey, give me your bunny. Give me bunny. No, bunny's your chew toy. Here. There. You tug of war with the bunny. I have 2 arms. I can draw and teach and play with my puppy. I'm going to order some of your art books for myself. Oh my God, that's so awesome. Yeah, just I would recommend the art block books because you can draw on them. I highly suggest that you draw on them. Like that is the whole point of them. It's supposed to be like a reference book / art block breaking book meant to help you not just break out of art block, but meant to help you have reference material for anything you want to draw. So if you collect the ones that I'm going to release, I'm going to release an anatomy one. I'm going to release an animal one. I'm going to release anything themed because I have so many sketches from so many things that I can just make variations of books. Like, and with all different drawings too. It's not even like just repeating the drawings like a lot of people do. And I have hundreds and thousands of drawings. Like, if I ever die and my family sells my originals for any sort of money, they're going to be fucking millionaires. Like, if I die and I make a name for myself in any semblance, my family is going to be really well off because they have thousands, hundreds of thousands of original sketches preserved perfectly, just waiting to be done something with. Let's see, from the back. I want that from the back. So we taper things differently and we give it a butt. Bam, bam. And now we have a sprinter. Can I learn action poses, Rod? I mean, what? I'm teaching you how to pose. I'm teaching you how to draw the characters in different positions. We can do a total stream of just posing. Like, we can do like another action posing, like comic posing. Ooh. We can, oh my God. How about we do this? Hold on. How about we do this? We make a stream where we watch a movie, like an action movie, like Dragon Ball Superhero or something like that. We watch something action-like, and then we pause it. We ask everyone to take a screenshot, and then we draw that pose, and then we move on to the next pose, and then the next pose, and the next pose, and stuff like that. How cool would that be? And then I explain to you guys, okay, they did this, they did this, they did this. That'd be cool. Oh my God, we should do movie night. We should set up a movie night every week. Oh, that sounds like a great idea, actually. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to do that. We'll come up with a time. What's a good time for everybody? Like, I would love to get like a general consensus as to what times are best for you guys when it comes down to streaming. I know that I started streaming at like 8 in the morning, and that's helped me wake up earlier, but it's not necessarily the most convenient for a lot of people, I think. So if you guys let me know what times you guys feel that are the best for streaming, I would love my mods to please just take like a quick compilation of the most common times you guys see. And if you guys can help me out with that, just to understand like that aspect of things for you, it can help me generate better content at better time slots that maybe reach more people. What pens do you get? I get big pens. 5 p.m. Europe. Okay, what would that be in Pacific time? I'm a little bit out of the loop when it comes down to the Eastern times because I haven't really like talked to my European friends in a while. So it's been, I haven't really been keeping up with the time differences. Outside edge, inside volume. Okay? Outside edge, inside volume. Eastern, that would be 8:30. What time is it right now for me? For me, it is, what time is it? It should be like 9, 10, maybe like 10. Oh, it's 11:22. 11:22. Wow, I've been on here for 2 hours already. Cool. Dope. I like it when I just like end up drawing for hours and I forget and I don't even know I've been drawing that long. That's when I know I've done like a good lesson. Again, the compass leads you to the point that is going to be the upper part of your arm. The volume goes towards the body, and then you get a semblance of a really cool arm. Okay? When you move your arms up, that little point goes up. If your arm goes down, that point goes a little bit down. And you draw the volume inside. Okay? Volume inside. Always volume inside. Outside edge, volume inside. Outside edge, volume inside. Ta-da. If you guys learn that, you guys will learn very basic construction. Okay? So, hope you guys have a fantastic day. We are done with our lesson today. Thank you, friends, for the time that you spent drawing with Mr. RODGON. You guys have a lovely day. And draw some more, 'cause it's cool. Come with me, and you'll see how to draw from your imagination. Thank you guys so much for being my buddies. Thank you for keeping me company and being here all the time, making me feel important in this world. You guys are the best. You make me feel like I have a purpose. And, you know, that's something that I cherish a lot. So I appreciate every single one of you. I hope that you guys have a fantastic week. May all your projects have fruitful endeavors, and may all your crushes hit you up with a heart. May all your food taste 10% better, and may your heart not have an attack. Take care, everybody. You guys are awesome. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another lesson. Or if I don't have to go play pool tonight, I will see you guys again tonight for another lesson before I leave. Take care. You guys kick butt. You guys are awesome. Go follow me on YouTube if you guys want to learn more and you guys don't know where to get resources. That's a resource. It's a big one too. There's like 400 videos. So if you guys want to go learn more, the knowledge is there. It's up to you to go search for it. Okay? If you guys have any questions after watching my videos, if you guys watch my videos and you guys still have questions, you guys have access to ask me anything you guys want through DMs. But make sure that you search for that info first before you contact me. Because then I will just point you to the wrong, you'll just be like, go watch the video, dude. Like, I will be more than happy to help if my knowledge that I already put out there isn't satisfying that itch. Okay? That's something I put out for everyone. Take care. You guys are awesome. See you guys tomorrow. Love you all.